More on that. I'm joined now by our international affairs editor, Douglas Herbert. And Doug, we are seeing, aren't we, an increase in the number of incidents of police violence here in France. What's going on?
Well, what's going on is you're absolutely right. Look, France has always been prone to demonstrations, to protests. Some would go so far as to use the word anarchy, dating back to the revolution. But look, in the past months, past years even, there's been an increasingly sort of toxic climate surrounding social reforms, the economic situation in the country, fear of terrorism, rising crime, and also the migrant situation. And all of it is coming together in a combustible mix. And add to that new technology, more and more citizens, just bystanders wielding their iPhones, citizen journalists, showing up at these protests and filming them and catching the police behaving badly, and sometimes more than just badly, on video. Now, look, France's interior minister, who critics brand sort of a far-right, very get-tough-on-crime, law and order prime minister, almost in a Donald Trump mold, he says, look, you see these videos, they tweak your emotional chords, and everyone gets up in arms. The fact of the matter is, he says, a very, very, very small minority of police, a fraction of them, minute fraction, are actually responsible for these types of atrocious acts, these shocking, horrible actions. But the fact of the matter is, citizens with their iPhones, with their cameras, journalists filming these, say that they should have a right, that they need to have a right in a democratic society to continue filming this without fear that they're going to be taken aside, that they may face arrest or other sorts of retribution from the security forces and the government. What the law has basically, what's been happening is we've been seeing a watering down of the law in its current version, which is now being thrown out the window and being rewritten, overseen by a special commission led by a France's human rights watchdog. What it was is that you could not post or publish any sort of video taken by your camera, by journalists, whatever, that singled out individual police officers, meaning that we're published with the intent to cause them, as the law put it, physical or psychological harm. Even that wording is now being rewritten, because the fact of the matter is, at the end of the day, journalists say that the stigma is there. They might be more disinclined to try to film these things. There's sort of a fear element, a fear factor now in trying to capture on video any of these police actions, even if the law purports to say journalists can continue filming.
Right, and Macron's government's facing criticism not only over that law, but also over a broader sense, Doug, that it's drifting to the right and becoming more authoritarian. Is that a fair criticism?
It's a fair criticism. Even within his own party, he's been abandoned by some of his own members in the sense that he was elected as sort of almost seen as this idealized center-left president who was, without a party, who was going to bring together various strands of the country. And in fact, as the Financial Times said in a very hard-hitting editorial today, he's turning out to be more of a sort of a real conservative French president in the traditional Gallic conservative mold, albeit, as they said, with a greenish tinge. The fact of the matter is, Macron has a presidential election coming up on the medium horizon, 2022. He's already positioning, because a lot of French public opinion, the surveys show, are actually very amenable to the police getting tough on protests, on terrorism, on crime. So it resonates with the French public. So all of these actions being taken by Macron would indicate that he is hewing a little bit to that public opinion and shifting to the right. That drift to the right could continue unless civil liberties advocates say something is done to check it and to perhaps even reverse it.
Doug, thanks very much indeed. Doug Herbert there.